Hey, how you all doing? Welcome to this Enlight Photo Fox tutorial. So in this Enlight Photo Fox tutorial, we're going to have a look at double exposures. And if you've seen the new Mission Impossible trailer or the new Mission Impossible posters, we're going to try and sort of make something along the lines of this. So I've just got Enlight Photo Fox open, and we've just got two images, just two random images. We've got a stock image of a male sort of model on a white grey background. I suppose if you look at this background, you can see that, you know, the shadows on the wall. You know, it's not a perfect background, and just click undo to get it back to how I wanted it. Yeah, so it's not a perfect background, but it's something that we can work with. And then I've got this sort of landscape of this city image on top of that layer. So just important to see that I have got this image here on top of the other layer. If you look on my right hand side on the layers, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch and squeeze with this top layer and get it somewhere I want it, and get it somewhere sort of that I think it will fit or look nice over the bottom image. So then I'm going to go to blending. Just make sure I've got my layers selected in the bottom left hand side, and go to blending. And then I'm just going to go to either plus lighter or just lighter. I think lighter in the first instance looks a bit nicer than the other one. So obviously, as you can see at the top, if I just click off this initial layer, that I've got this line at the top and bottom of my image. Now, there's a few things I could do to get rid of that. One of them really easily is I can just increase the image size. So select the layer again, then pinch and squeeze, and just make the image a little bit bigger. And that's the technique that we're going to use for now. Another one would be sort of use an effect on the layer. We could cover that in another session, I suppose. But this looks quite nice as it is. I'm sure you'll agree. So we're just going to add a few more, do a few more little bits to this double exposure. First one being, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click my second image, so my model image, and then I'm going to go to layers at the bottom. Tone at the bottom, and then adjust. And then with brightness, I'm just going to ramp the brightness up like so. So all it does, it takes away, look, if I decrease the brightness, I make the brightness minus whatever number, I can bring more of that foreground image in. But if I increase the brightness, it takes away the background part of that image. So then all we're pretty much left with, we can just mess around with it a little bit, and all we're pretty much left with is just the model covered. And then you could, the contrast would just make things a little bit more prominent, or you could just haze things a little bit by decreasing the contrast. And then the structure is just going to sharpen things up if you want to sharpen the outsides or the outlines of the model up. Hue is just going to change the sort of the hue, the tone of the image. The saturation is going to make it warmer or cooler, and then the sharpen again is just going to sharpen the image up or not, as the case may be. But I'm just going to leave the sharpen halfway up, and I'm going to leave the brightness halfway up, just to get the image the way I want it, like so. And then I'm going to click this little plus button here, and then I'm going to click the little plus button again at the top right hand side to add another layer. When I click it, I'll get this transparent and photo thing pop up. I'm just going to click, I want a transparent layer on the top. And then what I'm going to do down here, I'm going to go to layers, and then I'm going to go to fill with my transparent layer selected. I'm going to select color, and I'm going to choose this pink color, choose a blue color, choose whatever color you want, of course. And then I'm going to click the little tick button up here to say that that's okay. So we just got our colored layer on top. I'm going to go to make sure I've got layers selected, go to blending again, and then go to lighten. And all this does is just gives me this really nice sort of summer effect. I could try plus brighten, and you can try all of these blending modes and see which one you just think suits you best, or which one you like best. I quite like the screen, but what I want to do is just tone it down a little bit more. So I'm selecting the screen with my pink layer selected, or my colored layer selected, and then go back to layers, go to opacity, and then slide down a little bit on the opacity. So then I'm going to go to this center layer, so my sort of landscape layer, and what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to go to the tone, and then I'm going to go to darkroom, and then you could add a different filter and just apply this filter. So something you can try. And I quite like this clarify, like so, and then all this does is just brings back some of that image in the background and dulls down the face a little bit. So that's where I'm going to leave this image. You can mess about with it a little bit more if you want to, but I quite like this image looking like this. I suppose what you could do again is you could go back to your bottom layer, go back to your adjust, and then have a look at your brightness again, and like this would look quite nice, like so. And this, if we made it a little bit sharper, so it would look quite nice like this. But obviously what you want to do is leave your details. If indeed you're going to double blend or double expose an image of yourself, you want to sort of leave your details there. But this is quite a nice image, and you could even add, I suppose, to you could add another layer and add some effects to that if you wanted to. Should we try it? Let's add a transparent layer, and then let's go to artistic effects, and let's add some of these birds just flying. Generally you don't want them flying over the person's sort of facial features, I suppose, because then you wouldn't get to see it. So then we just click the little plus button, a little tick button in the corner to agree the changes. And remember, this is just a layer, so we can remove that layer if we don't like it. Let's go to layers, go to, not blending, sorry, go to opacity, and then slide that opacity right down so you can only just see them. So that just adds a little bit more to it. And then once you're happy with that, remember you can add up to 5 layers if you subscribe, if you pay the subscription. So this is a double exposure, really quick, really easy. I'm going to save that out by clicking the little up button there, and I'm just going to click save to camera roll where it says save to camera roll, and then that image is saved, and we can have a look at that at the back end. So thanks a lot for watching this tutorial. Hope you found it useful, and if you have any questions about Enlight Photofox, please leave them in the comments below, and don't forget you can subscribe and stuff if you want. So